Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my podcast. This is The Way That I See It. So, it has been a little while, and if you're watching this on video, will know that I am still in a very blank office with not really a lot of colour and decoration, but we're working on it. So, I wanted to share with you tonight some funny stories, some funny universal stories, things that have happened, things that cannot be explained in my life by anything other than weird universal shit. So if this isn't your vibe, skip to the next one, skip back one. I'm definitely going to be talking about people pleasing and confidence over the next week, but I had to share with you tonight some of the funny stories that have happened to me with the universe. So one of the first ones is when Josh and I were early dating. So for any of you that don't know, I was married, and during my marriage, Josh and I realised that we had feelings for each other, and our respective partners did know, and we did end things with them. And then it was a couple of months into that, so kind of a couple of months post that, so he's left a long-term relationship, I'm getting divorced, well, separated and then on to divorce that summer. It's not something I've talked about hugely, and I think the reason I haven't talked about it hugely is purely because I want to respect the other person. You know, they didn't do anything wrong. They are a great person. They're really happy. They've been with the same person since a couple of weeks after I left. So I assume that life is all good and they're happy. But, you know, I just want to respect the fact that it's not my story to tell, right? You know, my side of what I learned from the relationship and the divorce, I would definitely be putting in my book, 1,000,000%. Dropped a little bombshell there, didn't I? But yeah, that's not really my story to tell. But the point is, so we're a couple of months into dating, and we stayed in this apartment. This is so weird. So basically, we stayed in this apartment, and we'd stayed there once before. So we'd got an Airbnb that we kind of went to when we could see each other, and we stayed there. And basically, it wasn't long after I'd cut my hair short. And so I'd bought some hair tongs because I only used to know how to do it straight. I'm not one of those people that can curl my hair with a straightener. I know that sounds like first world problems, but so I bought this hair tong, right? And I'd cut my hair like this short. If you're watching on YouTube, my hair's like this short, right, at the time. This is my hair, by the way, no extensions here. And so, this is so funny. And so I remember, so basically the reason why that's relevant is I remember specifically taking things out of boxes. So anyway, I get to this apartment, and Josh has been super romantic, and he's put candles everywhere. I mean, I'm really scared the whole place is going to burn down, but it's really romantic. But anyway, the point is I took a video of the whole room, right? And because there's candles everywhere, there's nothing anywhere. So his bag is in the bedroom, and then we blow out all the candles, and it's really beautiful and lovely, and I've got a video of it. So anyway, the next morning, he went early, he left early, he still had a job then. So he left early, and and I unpacked my new box of hair colours, right? So I unpacked them on the table. I went and curled my hair, came back, looked at the box, like, shall I keep it? You know, you're supposed to keep, my mum used to say to me, keep the box for things for a couple of weeks, right? So I decided to keep the box. And hang on, let me just change the angle of my phone. It's a little weird. There we go. So I decided to keep the box. And basically, I picked up the box, and under the box was a glove. And I was like, say what? A random glove. So then I start freaking out, thinking someone has come in the middle of the night and has like left a glove and, you know, watched me sleep or some weird shit. Anyway, I freak out, tell Josh. He's like, this is hilarious. What I haven't told you is that the last time we stayed in that apartment, Josh went to the gym, right? And he was in his gym bag, and he pulled out a pair of gloves out the side pocket. And he was like, these are your gloves? I was like, no. And he's like, well, they weren't in there before I saw you last night. Same apartment 2 weeks before. And I was like, well, someone's probably just found them on the floor. It was like winter at the time, like cold spring, you know, like early. And he's like, someone's probably just found them on the floor and thought they'd fallen out of your bag. I was like, they're not mine. So we've got a pair of gloves, and then we've got a single glove that appeared out of nowhere, right? So I'm freaking out. We Google it. It means that you were found, if you find a random single glove, right? Or it means you found your match, basically. You found the hand of your love. I lost it. I remember texting my friend Charlie and being like, the weirdest thing has happened to me. Like, actually, Charlie Garforth, so if you don't even know him, be like, you'll never guess what's happened. Oh my God, like, wild. Anyway, hilarious. So there's one funny story for you. Still can't explain that. Went on dog walk the other day, I'm looking out my window at the fields, and saw a glove on the floor and freaked out. We've got a thing about gloves. So that's one funny story. Okay, so that's a bit of a random left field one. But again, explain that to me. Explain how a random glove appeared in a room where there were no random gloves, and then overnight into the morning a glove appears. Explain it. Explain that to me, because I can't. But the point is, and I'm going to talk to you about this, about signs and things that happen in a bit, but what I want you to know is some crazy shit happens from the universe, right? So this last week, I've just bought a brand new car. I've just bought a Jaguar E-Pace, and I've had a Mercedes for the last 3 years, a white Mercedes, as part of my network marketing business. They introduced a new award where you could have something different and just get a different amount of money. And I was like, that's for me. Because I've loved my Mercedes. I wanted a Mercedes before I even knew my network marketing business existed, but I also wanted a different car. I wanted something different, right? I didn't want a white car anymore either. I was like, I'm done. So anyway, the point being, so it's the week before. So I've already, the car date is booked, right? And we had to book it because obviously buying a house, you can't buy a house and buy a car. You can't be buying a car before you buy the house. The house needs to complete and then you can buy a car, right? So I was like, cool. So it had all been booked. Deposit was done. All the finance agreement was done. Everything was signed. The date was booked as Monday the 24th. Monday the 20th, sorry. Saturday the 11th, my mum's 60th party. My Mercedes has been the most reliable car. It's been amazing, right? Go to start it. Won't start. I'm like, what? Anyway, start freaking out, eventually starts. I think this is so weird, so random. Engine light comes on, I'm like, oh my God, drama. Anyway, get to my mum's and back. Party's amazing, no problem. Go to Quick Fit on the Sunday, because obviously I'm trading in this car, and used cars have got a massive value on them, so I'm thinking this is a big fat deposit on that E-Pace, I want this. So I take the car in, and they said there's nothing wrong with it. We put it in the thing, and the fault light went off, and maybe it was just a little thing. And I'm thinking, right, and I've been doing a lot of energy work, right? So I've been doing a lot of belief work, a lot of work about what you're available for, a lot of work around energy, a lot of work around when things show up in your life as a result of your beliefs, right? So I've been doing a lot of work on this. And so I'm sat here and I'm thinking, right, what resistance have I got? What beliefs have I got around my new car? What stories am I telling around what's possible for me? And this is why there's resistance showing up, because the universe is sort of slowing me down. I don't believe the universe tests us. I believe that we get what we're available for. We get what we're a match for. So there is something that if something in your life isn't coming to fruition, you're not a match for it, right? Or there's resistance, or there's a lack of belief, or a lack of confidence, or a lack of faith, or a lack of trust, right? So this happens anyway. Then it goes off and they reset the engine light and everything's golden. So 3 days later, Thursday, comes back on again, and I'm like, you are joking. I'm like, you've got to be joking. So anyway, car doesn't start again, but it's not like a normal car doesn't start vibe. So anyway, because I know quite a lot about cars, and I was like, yeah, no. So anyway, take it back in on the Saturday morning, because Friday was a manic day. Yeah. Saturday morning. And anyway, basically, they're like, it's not ideal, but there's nothing wrong with it. As in, like, we're not really sure. We can't really help you. So they changed the key batteries. They were like, we don't really know why it's not starting. There's nothing actually wrong with your car. I was like, okay, fine. So that's that. Leave that at that. And then I'm like, okay, cool. What beliefs or stories am I telling about what's going on? Like, what beliefs and stories have I got? And anyway, I then sat there and realised that actually I was telling a lot of stories about what would it mean to not have a white Mercedes anymore in my network marketing business. What would that mean about me? What would it mean about me if to have a new car and a new house at the same time? Like, what would that make me look like? What kind of person would I be? Am I stretching myself beyond my means? And I'm not. Like, I'm comfortable. And I was like, but I think deep down there were all these narratives and stories that I needed to address. And so what I always say to you is, look, if the universe is giving you weird, funky resistance that doesn't make sense, or weird signs, or things keep happening that you're like, why? Really look at the beliefs that you have that are negative about the thing that you're trying to move forward. Look at the thing that you're trying to progress and ask yourself, what do I actually believe about this that's holding me back? Because I guarantee it's your beliefs that are holding you back. So anyway, I then sit and do this work and surrender this belief, and the engine light turns itself off. Not even joking. The car's then fine. Deliver the car on Monday, swap the car, take my E-Pace, and I'm loving my best life. So, they are just two funny super stories. And, I can tell you about the time that I realised I had feelings for Josh. I was stood at an event and everything was normal. And then 10 seconds later, nothing was normal. I felt like I always say this to people, I felt like tectonic plates moved beneath my feet. I literally feel like my life went and just literally pivoted and moved in. And if you're on YouTube, you'll see me, but if you're on my Spotify or something, you're like, what? What's she doing? I literally felt like my life just pivoted a few degrees in a different direction. And as a result, the next 3, 4, 5, 6 years have completely been different because of the fact that I pivoted. And so I think what I want you to know is that the universe will only present you what you're available for. The universe will only present you what you're a match for. You will only see what you're willing to see. You will only see what you can physically perceive and physically believe. And so, you know, when we're looking for miracles, when we're looking things to happen outside of us, what we need to be doing is looking at what we're a match for. When we look at what we're a match for, what we believe we're available for, what our perceptions are, what our stories are. And this is all the Build Your Belief Bundle is about, guys, right? This is why I created this mini course. It's why I'm so passionate about it. It's why the price is going up on the 1st of July, because I'm literally like, this course is amazing. Because I truly know that actually what people need to understand is not what's happening outside of them and how to handle it, but how to master what's happening inside. When you master what's happening inside, you will master what happens outside 1,000,000%. And so the random things that have happened with the universe, like the engine light that took itself off and the gloves that appeared out of nowhere, was simply me deciding what I was available for. I was available for miracles. I was available for magic with the gloves. I was available for the story with Josh to be miraculous and magical and wonderful. I was available for questioning my self-worth. I was available for making it hard. I was available for things that, and when I suddenly wasn't available, when I reassessed those and said, I'm not available for that. I'm not a match for that. That's not a life or existence I want to have. Like, guys, I'm not available to not always pay my bills and have extra and pay off my credit cards and do things I want to do. I'm not available for any less than that. I'm just not. And so the money always comes, whether it comes through my consultancy work, whether it comes through my network marketing business, whether it comes through my coaching or my courses or my presenting work or whatever else I'm doing that month. Or, you know, I had a random money gift and I've had some refunds and I've had some rebates and I've had a lawsuit that's been going on years, you know, suddenly have an update. And, you know, the point is, I'm not available for it to earn any less in a month, and I'm working on what I'm available for in terms of more. And, you know, this is something that I really took from Amanda Francis in her book, Rich as Fuck, is around energetic minimums and maximums, right? And so this is really something that I have really chose to adopt, because what I've really taken from that is we truly do get what we're available for. Like, if something happens in your life, you're available for it. I'm not saying you caused it. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying that you are responsible. I'm saying you were available for it. There was a part of you that allowed that to happen. And I know that horrible things happen and sometimes things happen beyond our control. But what I want to express there is, what I'm saying is, that was a perception that you could perceive. There is a life that I have, and I'm only willing to accept a certain life. And you could argue I'm being stubborn or difficult, but I truly see that as me deciding what I'm available for. And you get to do the exact same thing, right? We all get to do the exact same thing. So yeah, I just wanted to share this with you in the hope that you would take something from it, that something will resonate, that you will trust in the signs. And what I want you to know is, it's not the sign that matters, it's how you feel about the sign. So if you say, I don't know, maybe you're dating a guy and you're like, oh, I want a sign that this is the one. And you're like, your butterfly is your sign, right? It's very cliche, but let's go with it. And you see a butterfly and you're like, oh, and you don't feel it. That's the sign. The feeling that you don't feel it is the sign, not the butterfly. If you see the butterfly and you're like, yay, that's the sign. And I think that's what you have to grasp, is that the universe will only bring you what you're available for. It will only bring you what you're a match for. It will only show back to you what you believe. And so what we try to do is look for external validation. I've been talking about being a people pleaser actually this week on my Next Level Lucy account. But the universe will only reflect back to us what we believe, know, what we're available for, and what we choose. And so you have to choose. You get to choose what you're available for. And so choose to be available for the life that you want. Choose to be available for your dreams and desires. Choose to raise your level of expectation. Choose to just choose to be available. And I said this about my house, about my car. I chose that it was easy. I chose that it would be good. I chose that I would have great neighbors. I chose that the location would be perfect. I chose these things. I decided and I was available for them. I believed they would happen. I did the belief work. I hung out in that space and I didn't let any noise happen. And the thing with my car was just me allowing noise and interference in a bullshit story that I just made up in my head. So just decide what you're available for. And, this is I'm going to say it again. This is what the Build Your Belief Bundle is all about. And there are 2 new mini courses coming, one on money and one on confidence. So stay tuned if that's really where you're at. But the Build Your Belief Bundle can be applied to this, about deciding what you are available for. So that's it from me this week. I've rambled on for a little bit longer than normal, almost 15 minutes now. But that was the way that I see it. and I'll see you on the next episode.